fellow educators in Asian society, of teachers for research, good afternoon. I am Mayrold m.alonsagay, the officer in charge of VMA Guidance Center of VMA Global College and Training Centers Incorporated, Philippines. And I am here this afternoon to introduce my research entitled Problems Encountered and Corresponding Needs Among College Students in a Maritime School. For my background of the study, there are a whole lot of issues or problems that students have to deal with, particularly in their academic life. Issues or problems could be personal in nature, interpersonal, family, and the like. However, some students somehow would not admit that they have and are experiencing problems due to understandable reasons, and this may eventually hamper their personal growth. The proponents are personally motivated and prompted to determine the problems encountered and corresponding needs among students of VMA Global College and Training Centers Incorporated, Bacolod City, as basis for crafting intervention and retention program, hence this study. For the objectives, this study sought to determine the extent of students' problems and needs analysis among the students of VMA Global College and Training Centers Incorporated, Bacolod City during the school year 2022-2023 as basis for intervention and retention program. Specifically, this study aimed to answer the profile of the respondents according to age, sex, year level, and average monthly family income. The extent of students' problems in relation to the following aspects are: first, personal, family, interpersonal, academics, spiritual, and others. Likewise, it determined the extent of students' needs in relation to the following services. First, we have counseling, seminars, and other services. Lastly, this study proposed a student retention program. As for the conceptual framework of this study, we have for the students' problems, personal, family, interpersonal, studies, and spiritual. For the students' needs, we have counseling, seminars, and other services. And it is connected to intervention and detention program. The respondents of this study were the 51 walk-in respondents, college students of VMA Global College and Training Centers Incorporated, officially enrolled during the school year 2022-2023. So the instrument, the proponents had used self-made questionnaires in gathering the data. The respondents were asked to rate each item using 4-point Likert scale, which contained the following scores: 4, very great extent; 3, great extent; low extent; 2, low extent; and 1, very low extent. The research instrument was subjected to phase and content validation by a jury of 3 experts using the criteria set forth by Carter-Good and Douglas scales. Validity is the extent to which a concept or questionnaire is accurately measured in a quantitative study by Hale and Twycross, 2015. The validity index is 5, thus making the instruments valid. Likewise, the research instrument were subjected for reliability testing using Codback Alpha. Codback Alpha is a model of internal consistency, reliability based on the average inter-item correlation of an instrument. The dry run respondents for this purpose were 15 senior high school students of VMA Global College and Training Centers Incorporated. The reliability indices were 0.787 for problems encountered and 0.885 for corresponding needs, thereby making the instruments reliable. As a measuring tool, reliability refers to the consistency of a measure. Thus, if one attains the same result repeatedly, the measure is considered reliable. In other words, reliability simply means the accuracy of the research instrument, by Garrison and Statistical Associates 2016. For the data collection procedure, the proponents sought permission from the college president through the Vice President for Academic Affairs and Vice President for Maritime Studies prior to the administration of the survey questionnaires. When granted with permission, the proponents shall immediately administer the survey questionnaires to all target respondents. The proponents shall also take time to explain the purpose of this study to the target respondents upon completion. The questionnaires shall be retrieved for encoding and tabulation. As for the statistical treatment, for problems 1, 2, and 3, it shall utilize the mean in ascertaining the extent of problems and needs among the respondents. Computations shall be processed using Microsoft Excel and or SPSS script. For the ethical considerations, in cognizance of Republic Act 10173, also known as the Data Privacy Act (DPA) of 2012, the following measures shall be observed. The proponents shall have the sole right to access the data collected. All data collected, hard and soft copy, shall be kept in a secure place and password protected for the soft copy, and the same shall be kept for a period of 1 year, after which the letters should be shredded. As for the results in discussion, for the personal problems encountered with an overall mean of 2, which is interpreted as low extent. The extent of the students' problems on personal dimension sorted a total mean score of 2, interpreted as very low extent. On top of these issues were difficulty in making decisions and lack of self-confidence as supported by the obtained mean scores of 2.63 and 2.51 respectively. On the other hand, the least rated issues were confused about sexual identity with a mean of 1.67 and indulging in vices such as drugs, alcohol, and gambling with a mean of 1.24. And going to the family problems encountered by the students with an overall mean of 2, which is also interpreted as low extent. Family problems encountered by the students, the extent of it, or the extent of the problems on family dimension yielded a mean score of 2, interpreted as low extent. When issues were taken individually, respondents manifested to have experienced limited financial resources, interpreted as 2.53. Fortunately, the respondents had only occasional experiences with having a lot of arguments with parents or guardians, with an interpretation, with a score of 1.67. Unrealistic expectations of parents or guardians in different families where members do not interact with each other, with a mean score of 2.22 and of having an unhappy family that usually argue or fight with each other with a mean score of 1.4. These responses would mean that respondents had sometimes experienced indecisions brought by their lack of confidence that generally triggers the increase of anxiety levels by Miller 2013. Affirms this observation by saying that indecision and anxiety often go hand in hand. Many people who have high anxiety levels find it difficult to make decisions for fear of making the wrong decision or disappointing others, or they fear that their decision is unchangeable or final. However, respondents have a clear picture of their essential characteristics that define their social role or orientation, such as their being male or female. Likewise, they almost never engage in any vices. The results indicated that limited financial resources had always been the issue in majority of Filipino households, wherein the respondents were low expectation release. In a survey, it was reported that income is the main reason for not having enough money for basic necessities. However, insufficient income is not the only score. Among other possible factors are providing financial help to others, overspending, unexpected expenditures due to illness or other emergencies, and lack of planning and budget. Hence, the recently launched Philippine National Strategy for Financial Inclusion recognized the importance of financial education and consumer protection by Mayrold 2015. Likewise, the results showed that respondents generally experience very occasional disagreements with their parents or guardians, as possibly brought with the latter's practical expectations. Nevertheless, respondents still felt fortunate and happy with their family. As for the interpersonal problems encountered, wherein having an overall mean of 1.74, which is interpreted as very low extent. The extent of students' problems on interpersonal dimension, again, yielded a total score of 1.74, interpreted as low extent. Though, to a low extent, the respondents experience having others make fun of them because of the way they look or talk, which has, or with a mean score of 2.02, and conflict with classmates or schoolmates with a mean score of 1.84. At the very last, they have experienced being pressured by friends to do what they want, or having a mean score of 1.47, and having conflict with teachers having a mean score of 1.80. Results on this regard imply that respondents occasionally were conflict with their fellow students on the basis of their personal appearance and manner of speaking. With this, their classmates made fun out of these thoughts. Undeniably, learning communities, conflict is a part and parcel of life in school. Most students do not like conflict because they usually do not resolve their conflicts well, and so they develop this taste for it. In its entirety, respondents have good and strong relationship with their teachers and fellow learners. Eventually, these good and strong relationships provided a foundation for student engagement, belonging, and ultimately learning. The more high-quality relationships students have with their teachers, have with their teachers, classmates, and schoolmates, the better their engagement in school. Thus, at the instant case, respondents having access to more strong relationships are more academically engaged, have stronger social skills, and experience more positive behavior. The Education Trust 2020. The result furthermore indicated that respondents were very much knowledgeable in using the learning facilities of the school, and they did not feel being pressured by their teachers. Basically, the provision and use of these facilities make it easier for the school to deliver better education. In fact, studies show the school facilities have an impact on the overall school experience of students and teachers. Likewise, they affect the health, behavior, and engagement of teachers and students alike, Andrews 2019. As for the problems encountered in relation to academics, with an overall mean of 2.2, interpreted as low extent. The extent of students' problems in relation to academics sorted a total mean score of 2.2, interpreted again as low extent. Generally, the respondents did not experience major issues with their academics. However, some minor issues were worth noticing, such as poor classroom conditions, particularly the noisy surroundings, with a mean score of 2.41, due to the presence of substantial number of vehicles around the campus and having poor study habits, with a mean score of 2.37. The results suggest that respondents experience certain level of difficulties and distractions in school and schoolwork due to unfriendly learning environment, though manageable. Moreover, the students learning in poor environments, those that are uncomfortable, loud, or full of distractions, will find it far more difficult to absorb information and stay engaged. On the other hand, students who study in a positive learning environment have been shown to be more motivated, engaged, and have a higher overall learning ability. As such, it is important to note that learning environments play a crucial role in a student's success. Hendricks 2019. Moving to the problems encountered in relation to spirituality with an overall mean score of 1.49, interpreted as very low extent. The extent of problems encountered by respondents in relation again to spirituality obtained a total mean score of 1.49, construed as very low extent. Only minor issues were noted, such as having religious doubts with a mean score of 1.65, and disinterest in religious activities with a mean score of 1.53. Responses in this regard imply that respondents occasionally experience religious doubts that made them disinterested in religious activities. In other words, religious doubts had challenged the respondents' beliefs and practices, and even affect their behaviors and feelings towards others and oneself. Thus, those respondents who were questioning their faith may feel off balance or uncertain, and even experience anxiety, like Good Therapy 2020. In contrast, research has repeatedly shown that individuals with strong faith were found to have a better and healthier feelings. Moreover, religious involvement with God is better for one's body in terms of immune functions and reducing loneliness. Better 2020. As for the counseling needs, with an overall mean score of 2.37, interpreted as the low extent, the respondents' need for counseling was to a low extent, with a total, again, mean score of 2.37. However, the results furthermore revealed that respondents showed interest in family counseling with a mean score of 2.39, group counseling with a mean score of 2.39 as well, and career counseling and placement with a mean score of 2.39 also. The results imply that respondents may have experienced issues in relation to their family affairs, classmates, or circle of friends, and uncertainties in their chosen fields of disciplines. When available, family counseling can help respondents improve troubled relationships with their parents, siblings, and other family members. Family counseling can be very useful in any family situations that cause stress, grief, anger, or conflict between and among family members. It can help family members understand one another better and learn coping skills to bring each other closer together. Mayrold Foundation for Medical Education and Research, 2022. As for the seminars needed, with an overall mean score of 2.93, interpreted as great extent, the respondents' need for the conduct of seminars, again, was to a great extent. Having obtained a total mean score of 2.93, respondents were greatly in need of overcoming shyness, with a mean score of 3.08, and personality development with a mean score of 3.14. The results suggest that respondents had their fair share of shyness and were socially introverted. With this, they felt awkward around unfamiliar people, unsure of what to say, or worried about what others might think of them. Consequently, this can cause them to avoid social situations and cut themselves off from others, by Smith and Seagal, 2022. This fair share of shyness fueled the need for seminars on overcoming shyness and personality development. When available, respondents would be able to learn new skills and adopt a different outlook and overcome shyness or social awkwardness, enhance personality, feel more connected, and enjoy a strong and fulfilling friends, by Smith and Seagal, 2020. In addition, researchers find that it is often best for people to acknowledge their shyness and try to release themselves from feeling self-conscious, by Psychology Today, 2020. For the conclusions, the respondents showed interest in family counseling, group counseling, and career counseling. As projected, family counseling could help them improve troubled relationships with their parents, siblings, and other family members. Likewise, group and career counseling could help the respondents meet their academic career and social or emotional needs. Finally, the respondents had also shown great interest in the conduct of seminars on overcoming shyness and personality development. Through these seminars, respondents would be able to learn new skills and adopt a different outlook and overcome shyness and enhance personality. As for the references, these are the following authors and sites I have utilized for this study. And that's all for my presentation. Thank you so much, everyone, and have a nice day.